Today we will learn something that can completely transform the way you think, act, and live. Welcome back to Mindset English, the place where your journey to self-mastery begins. In today's powerful session, you will discover the real difference between staying stuck and breaking free, between surviving and thriving, between being poor and becoming rich, not just in money, but in mindset, purpose, and freedom. This message is for everyone out there who dreams of more success, more abundance, more control over their destiny. Let me begin by asking you something very important. Are you tired of feeling stuck? Are you frustrated by the life you're living, knowing deep inside that you were meant for more? If yes, then you're in the right place. This video is not just a message, it's a wake-up call. Because if you truly understand what I'm about to share, your life will never be the same again. Every morning, you should wake up with fire in your soul and confidence in your step. But too many people wake up in fear, stress, and doubt. Why? Because they've been lied to. They've been told that money is evil, that rich people are lucky, that success is for the chosen few. But the truth, money is not evil. Money is freedom. Money is not the goal, it is the tool. It's the vehicle that allows you to live on your terms, help your family, and become the version of yourself that the world needs to see. So today, I want you to erase the old beliefs. I want you to open your mind. I want you to challenge everything you've been taught about success. Because this lesson is going to hit you hard. It's going to shake the way you think. It might even make you uncomfortable. But that's a good thing. Growth begins when comfort ends. Let's start with something that seems so simple, yet separates the rich from the poor more than anything else: what they do with their money. Poor people save. Rich people invest. That sounds strange at first, doesn't it? We've been taught our whole lives to save. Save for a rainy day. Save to be safe. But think about this. How much interest does your bank give you? 2%? 3%? Meanwhile, inflation eats your money at 6% or more every year. So your savings are shrinking even as you add to them. Now imagine two friends. One earns $1,000 and saves $500 every month. The other earns the same $1,000 but uses $500 to invest in a course, a business, or an asset. Fast forward 5 years. The saver has $30,000 sitting in a bank. The investor has a skill that earns him $5,000 a month, a business that runs 24/7, or an asset that pays him even when he sleeps. One is holding on to money, the other is multiplying it. That's the difference. But it's not just about money, it's about how you think. Poor people always find someone to blame. The government is corrupt. The system is unfair. Rich people are lucky. But here's the truth. Blame is a disease. It infects your mind and destroys your future. Because when you blame others, you give away your power. You become a victim. Now ask yourself, do you want to be a victim or a warrior? Because warriors don't blame. Warriors take responsibility. When Jeff Bezos started Amazon in a garage, nobody believed in him. Elon Musk was drowning in debt before Tesla. Steve Jobs was fired from his own company. But they didn't sit down and complain. They got up and changed the game. That's the mindset you need. Fear is another enemy. Poor people fear risk. What if I fail? What if I lose everything? What if people laugh? And because of that fear, they stay in their comfort zone. But rich people understand that risk is not the enemy. Fear is. If you never take the shot, you never score. If you never plant the seed, there's no harvest. Every success story you've ever heard started with someone taking a risk. Think of a lion. A lion in a cage is safe. It gets fed. It doesn't have to hunt. But it's not a king. The lion that fights in the jungle, that chases, that hunts, that's the king. So ask yourself, are you living in a cage or in the jungle? Now let's talk about how people earn. Poor people work for money. They trade time for a paycheck. The moment they stop working, the money stops coming. Rich people do something different. They build systems. They create income streams that pay them even when they're sleeping. Real estate, online businesses, dividends, intellectual property. These are the tools of the wealthy. Here's a simple example. Person A earns $5,000 a month but spends it all on rent and lifestyle. Person B earns the same but buys a small apartment that earns him $500 in rent. In 10 years, Person A has nothing but memories. Person B has assets that keep paying him. That's the power of passive income. That's the secret to financial freedom. And what do people do with their time? Poor people binge on entertainment, Netflix, social media, partying. They waste hours every day and wonder why their life never changes. Rich people? They educate themselves. They read. They take courses. They grow their network. They learn from mentors. CEOs read around 50 books a year. The average person reads less than 5. Now you tell me. Who will grow faster? If you want to change your life, you don't need luck. You don't need rich parents. You don't even need a fancy degree. You just need to change your mindset. And that begins with realizing that you are the only one responsible for your future, not your school, not your boss, not your background, just you. You see, people think the rich are different. They're not. Same body, same brain, same number of hours in a day. The only difference is the software they're running. Poor mindset is outdated. It crashes every time life gets hard. Rich mindset is updated, powerful, fast. It runs on discipline, vision, and patience. Let me give you a powerful analogy. Imagine 2 farmers. One wakes up and picks whatever fruit he finds to eat. The other spends years planting, watering, nurturing seeds. He sees nothing for years, but after a decade, he owns a forest. That's how rich people think. Long term. Poor people want money now. They want results today. But success takes time. Business takes years. Wealth takes consistency. If someone offered you 1 million now, or a single penny that doubles for 30 days, what would you choose? Most would take the million, but that penny turns into over 5 million in a month. That's compound growth. That's the power of long-term thinking. But only the rich mindset understands it. Now let's talk about what keeps most people broke. How they look at investment. Poor people say, I can't invest. Rich people ask, how can I invest? Ask a poor person to spend $100 on a course. They'll say it's too much. Ask them to spend the same on a party, an expensive gadget. They say life is short, enjoy it. And that's why they stay stuck. Rich people invest in skills, books, coaches, tools, people. Poor people fear investment. Rich people fear not investing. Because they know every dollar spent on growth multiplies. And here's the brutal truth. Many people want to look rich, not be rich. Flashy cars, designer clothes, luxury phones bought on credit. But inside, they're drowning in debt. Rich people do the opposite. They wear simple clothes, drive old cars, but own million-dollar assets. They care about value, not appearance. Image doesn't build wealth. Strategy does. Right now, someone is building an empire while you scroll your phone. Right now, someone is using other people's time and money to build wealth while you work alone. Let me tell you something most people will never dare to say. You will never become rich by doing everything yourself. You cannot reach the top by trading all your time for money. A construction worker sweats all day and earns a wage. A business owner never lifts a brick but earns 10x more. Why? Because he uses leverage. What is leverage? It's using other people's time, effort, and skill to multiply your results. A worker uses only his body. An entrepreneur uses a team. You don't build an empire with your 2 hands. You build it with systems. Jeff Bezos doesn't pack boxes. The CEO of McDonald's doesn't flip burgers. They've built machines that work without them, and that's the key to wealth. Poor people say, I'll do it myself to save money. Rich people say, I'll pay others so I can focus on bigger things. That's outsourcing, and that's how you grow. Imagine starting a business. A poor mindset thinks, I'll design, sell, deliver, and do everything alone. A rich mindset thinks, I'll hire help and scale faster. Here's a simple rule. If a task earns you $10 an hour, delegate it. If a task can make you $1,000 an hour, focus on it. One person spends all day doing low-value work. Another person uses that same time to build partnerships, expand, and invest. Guess who wins? You can't be rich with a small mindset. You can't win big if you're afraid to play big. Most people fear growth. They fear spending money. But what they don't realize is they're spending their entire life, trading their time, losing their potential. The most dangerous place in the world isn't a war zone. It's the comfort zone. That space where everything feels familiar, where you avoid challenges, where you repeat the same routine every day. Rich people don't live there. They break out of it daily. They chase discomfort because they know growth lives there. The poor mindset says, "Why bother? I'm fine where I am." The rich mindset says, "If I'm too comfortable, I'm not growing." Let me give you an example. Two people are offered a chance to speak in front of a crowd. One says, "I'm not good at public speaking. I'll embarrass myself." The other says, "I'm nervous, but this could be the skill that makes me millions." One stays stuck. The other starts a journey that changes his life. That's the power of stepping outside your comfort zone. Now let's talk about another truth. The invisible prisons most people live in. The prison of fear. The prison of doubt. The prison of other people's opinions. How many dreams have died because someone was afraid of what others might think? How many businesses were never started because someone feared judgment? Poor-minded people say, "What if I fail?" Rich-minded people say, "What if I succeed?" Here's a secret. No one who is doing more than you will ever criticize you. The only people who try to pull you down are the ones below you. Rich thinkers ignore the noise. They stay focused. They protect their vision. They build in silence. And let success make the noise. So here's your challenge. Stop asking for permission to succeed. Stop waiting for someone to approve your dreams. Go after them like your life depends on it. Because it does. And that brings us to one of the most powerful lessons of all, the power of purpose. Without a purpose, success becomes empty. Without a reason bigger than yourself, you'll quit when it gets hard. The poor mindset chases money. The rich mindset chases purpose, and money follows. When you do something meaningful, something that adds value to others, something that gives you fire every morning, you become unstoppable. Rich people don't work for money. They work for a mission. And when you align your mission with your actions, success becomes inevitable. Ask yourself, why do I want to be rich? If your only answer is to buy stuff and show off, you'll quit the moment it gets hard. But if your answer is to build something that outlives you, to create freedom for your family, to inspire others, you'll push through the pain. Let's talk about another brutal truth. The poor mindset waits for motivation. The rich mindset builds discipline. Motivation comes and goes. It's like a firework, bright, loud, but gone in seconds. Discipline is the engine that keeps running long after motivation dies. Every successful person you admire didn't rely on motivation. They built systems, habits, routines. They woke up early when they didn't feel like it. They worked when no one was watching. They practiced when no one was clapping. That's how empires are built, not by emotion, but by discipline. So, build a routine that supports your goals. Design your day around your future, not your feelings. That's what the rich do differently. Now let's dive into something most people ignore. the wealth triangle. This is the foundation of lasting success, and it has three sides: skill development, personal brand, scalable income first. You need high-income skills. Learn to sell, market, negotiate, speak, write, lead. These skills print money. Second, build a personal brand. In the digital age, your online presence is your resume, your storefront, your billboard. If no one knows you, no one pays you. People must trust you to buy from you. Third, scalable income. A poor mindset trades time for money forever. A rich mindset builds something once and gets paid over and over again. This could be an online course, a business, a product, or investments. Find ways to earn while you sleep. This triangle is how you escape the rat race forever. Master it, and you'll never be broke again. Now let's break another lie society teaches you. The lie of job security. We're told to go to school, get a degree, find a job, and we'll be safe. But is that true anymore? The world has changed. AI is replacing jobs. Automation is replacing people. Layoffs are happening even in safe industries. Rich people never depend on one source of income. They build multiple streams. They don't rely on a paycheck. They create paychecks. If your only income is your job, you're one step away from disaster. That's why building assets, starting side hustles, and creating income streams is not a luxury. It's a necessity. Now, let's address something deeper: your identity. Your identity is your thermostat. It controls what you believe you deserve. If you see yourself as average, you'll always return to average. Even if you make more money, you'll sabotage it to return to what feels normal. This is called the financial set point. Rich people reset their identity. They tell themselves, I am capable, I am valuable, I deserve abundance. And they take actions that match that belief. So here's the key. Upgrade your identity. Every day, tell yourself who you are becoming. Speak it until you believe it. Believe it until you live it. Let's also confront the elephant in the room: entitlement. The poor mindset says, life owes me. The rich mindset says, life owes me nothing. I owe life everything. Entitled, people wait for handouts. Winners create opportunities. Don't wait to be rescued. No one is coming. Rescue yourself. Build yourself. Earn your freedom. Now you might be thinking, this sounds great, but I don't know where to start. Start here. Look at your habits. Your habits are your future in disguise. Are you waking up early or sleeping in? Are you learning or watching? Mindless content? Are you budgeting or spending without thinking? Are you moving your body or letting it decay? Are you planning your day or letting it slip away? Your habits predict your destiny, and changing your habits is the fastest way to change your life. Let's keep going. Let's talk about relationships. The poor mindset tolerates toxic people. The rich mindset sets boundaries and surrounds themselves with winners. You will never rise higher than the people you consistently spend time with. If you're around negativity, you'll absorb it. If you're around ambition, you'll elevate. Audit your circle. Who challenges you? Who supports your growth? Who drains you? Remove the drains, invest in the uplifters. And now, a tough one. Money management. Most people don't have a money problem. They have a discipline problem. They spend before they earn. They buy things to impress people who don't care. They live on credit and call it lifestyle. Rich people master money. They track it, protect it, grow it. They learn how it works. They delay gratification. Here's a simple rule. Pay yourself first. Save before you spend. Invest before you reward. Build wealth before you flash it. And remember, real wealth is silent. Loud money is often broke money. Before we close, let's talk about your legacy. Success is not just about you. It's about who you lift up. It's about what you leave behind. What will your children say about you? What will your community remember? What impact will you leave on the world? The poor mindset only thinks of today. The rich mindset thinks of generations. Build not just for yourself, but for those who come after you. That's what real success looks like. So now, after everything you've heard, what will you do? Will you go back to scrolling endlessly, waiting for life to magically change? Or will you take control? Will you start learning new skills, building better habits, changing your identity, surrounding yourself with winners, managing your money, and investing in your purpose? Because the truth is, this isn't just the end of a video. It's the beginning of your new life. You now know what separates the rich from the poor. You know how to think, how to act, how to build. The excuses are gone. The knowledge is in your hands. Now go prove yourself right. Prove that you are not average. Prove that you were made for more. Thank you for watching Mindset English. If you found value in this message, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Your journey starts today, and we'll be right here with you every step of the way.